Hiya, it's Roxa. Hope you're doing great. And man, have I been excited to finally do this video and talk about my totally normal obsession with an early 2000s Nickelodeon kids show, Danny Phantom. I'm hyper fixated on this show. Bad, and it's not funny. But honestly, the one specific character that I'm insane about more than anyone else in the entirety of Danny Phantom is Clockwork. This silly little mysterious guy who showed up for 2 whole episodes in the entire series and said, "My job here is done, have a great day, bye." Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. There are so many things we don't know about Clockwork, and personally, I would go to hell and back for more content of him, but that's just me. I don't know about y'all. To be honest, I was so sad to find out that there's not much about this guy out there. Like, there could be a whole spin-off about Clockwork alone if you think about it. But that's another rabbit hole on its own. So, I ended up digging deeper, and I was not disappointed. I found a Glitch in Time graphic novel. And I mean, thank the universe this book exists. I mean, it's just a masterpiece in every sense. I could breathe it in until it's one and the same with the internal structure of my body. I want this book engraved into the gray matter of my brain. It's not funny. I mean, oh my days. The art, the writing, the amount of lore, and most importantly, extra Clockwork content. I'm eating good here. Like, yes, please give me more of this. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Back to the discussion at hand. What piqued my interest was a very specific scene in the book in which Clockwork isn't even included because, well, he's kinda having a bad time. And it's these panels which explain the origins of the ghost zone and ghosts basically. But what's so interesting about it? This one singular text bubble specifically. Earth without spirit lacks life, and the spirit without earthly tether will lose sight of the truth. Time will only worsen the divide. I'm going so far here as to say that this is directed at Clockwork, the man himself. Yup, that guy. The very embodiment of time. Now, this might be a reach too far on my part, and really I don't blame you for thinking that. Honestly, your thought process here is more sensible than mine because I saw the word time and immediately linked it to Clockwork. Like, to be completely fair and honest with you, here it would make more sense for this to just mean the passage of time, but one can only be so sensible when the brain rot does not leave them alone, so here I am presenting my theory like it's a newfound habitable planet in the middle of nowhere. It do be like that sometimes, I guess. Why am I so set on thinking that this is directed to Clockwork anyways? Well, to start, we don't know when the disharmony that is mentioned in the graphic novel has struck, and neither do we know the source of this so-called disharmony. The way it's shown in the novel, with all the time jumps that Danny experiences, the disharmony happened way before any type of intelligent life form existed on the planet Earth. So why did this kind of terrible disharmony even happen? That we don't know, because the reason is never explicitly mentioned, and even if we take into account the possibility of some sort of war and disharmony happening between intelligent humans and the consequences that followed, shouldn't some kind of information about that war be available in human history books? If a war was so great that it caused a separation between humans and spirits, why isn't it mentioned anywhere at all? There is a very insane possibility for this, which is very unlikely, but I'm too deep in to back away now, so I'm just gonna throw this in the ring. The war and disharmony happened in a previous era of humanity's existence, and it was so severe that it basically destroyed any and all signs of intelligence on the planet Earth, and so the universe had to start the cycle of life from the very beginning. But like I said, that is a very, very unlikely possibility. Still, if you think about it hard and long for several days until it makes you write a script for a YouTube video, then you can tell something's fishy here. Some part of the math here ain't mathing. Something is wrong here, and that something is supposed to stay hidden from humans. Like, I still believe in the part of the story that says ghosts are manifestations of human emotions, but the war part? No, dude, that's just way too suspicious for its own good. Not only is that information hidden from humans, but it is also hidden from ghosts, even though it's right under their noses, in the ghost zone. I'm willing to put on the table the possibility that even Pariah Dark doesn't know about the place. And this is an important part of the history of this world as a whole. Vlad tried his whole life to gain access to that place, only to be presented with failure after failure, and he believed that either the Infimap didn't want him there because he wasn't supposed to have the power that was in there, or that the source just predated the Infimap, and the latter turned out to be true. The place did not even have any specific power to it, just a story time session and its own ecosystem. We also know that the Infimap is able to send someone wherever and wherever, so that just further confirms my theory that the divide or whatever great war that caused it happened before any type of intelligent species existed on the planet Earth, as the source, which contained the history of ghosts, predates the Infimap. So, what even is the truth here, and who is it that doesn't want us to know it? I have my money on the observance here. Yeah, those floating eyeball guys whom we didn't even see enough times for them to be relevant. Yeah, those guys. It was the observance who hid the truth, it was them who changed it, and that is the reason that they got so worked up when Clockwork gave Danny a second chance. That's why they want Clockwork to also just observe, or preferably get rid of Danny as a whole. But he doesn't. He does his own thing. He's the embodiment of time, and by God is he going to use that title to get his way. Clockwork isn't messing with the timelines to make them happen however he wants. He's making sure that everything goes the way it's supposed to go, and that's what the observants are mad about. They want to change history and change the future, and Clockwork doesn't want to let him. My guess is that at some point in the future, some kind of event is going to happen. And it's not going to be in the observant's favor, and they are well aware of that, and this is precisely why they want to alter the course of history to fit their desired path. I also assume that Clockwork did not exist from the very beginning of time, even though he knows everything. He came to be after the observants decided to alter the course of history and hide the truth, because the very concept of time itself was being tampered with, so it became sentient and took the matter into its own hands, hence the creation of Clockwork. In other words, I think that Clockwork came to be to keep the balance, and the reason that he knows everything is that he is time itself and has experienced what has and has not happened before anyone else. I would say that the observants are the ones who tampered with the source and the truth that it supposedly holds, as they didn't want the real truth to be known, and then they just hid it away as an extra safety measure. Hence the sentence, time will only worsen the divide. Time is something that has always been there. The passage of time shouldn't be something that destroys. It's something totally normal by all means, and it's unstoppable. If anything, tampering with time when it's not needed causes destruction and ruin, just like what happened when Dan fused with Clockwork. Which I would argue was also supposed to happen, but that's another theory for another day, and I have been talking for long enough either way, so I would say this is a great time to end this video and start brain rotting for the next one. Also, don't forget to check my other socials. I post cool stuff and more art over there. I'm also working on an ongoing Danny Phantom comic. Yeah, I'm 6 feet deep into this brain rot. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed. Have a great time. Peace!